If you work in sales, what is your craziest sales meeting story? Here's mine. So there I was, it was approximately 2022, and I got a call for a pool remodel in the Palm Springs area. After driving 2 hours, I arrived and walked in the backyard and unearthed a soiree of large, hairy men of Middle Eastern descent, jumping in and out of the pool, smoking hookah, and being heavily intoxicated. I remember I just got over a bad cold, but duty called and I sprung into action. I was sick, I was coughing, I was sniffling, and I did not want to be there. The ringleader then approached me and we discussed the scope of work that he was looking for, only for me to find out he was searching for something more. During our discussion, I was sniffling. My nose was running. I was sweating from the heat and possibly a fever. And then he leans in real close and asks me if I have any booger sugar. To which I responded, "Just what the hell is that?" To which he responded, "Nose candy, white girl, blow." After listing off every slang term in the book, I quickly realized he was talking about Coke, and not the Diet Coke from McDonald's that I'm more familiar with, which I found to be incredibly insulting to my professionalism. So I said, "No, I'm just very sick." After explaining further, "No, I don't have any cocaine," I quickly realized if he's willing to ask me to give him some, he probably can't afford to pay for any work to be done. He then said, "I have another property just down the road. Would you like to go back there and quote a new pool?" To which I responded for the sake of the plot, "I guess. What's the address?" And he was like, "I actually don't have it." So then he calls over a woman, and she comes out, and they begin arguing in their native tongue. After a few moments, he looks at me and says in English, "Take her with you, and she will take you to the house. She knows where it is." And I just remember her and I locking eyes like, what the Absolutely not. We do not know one another, and that is incredibly dangerous for either party. They spoke in their language some more, to which he then produced an address. I then proceeded down the road to look at the second property. I then returned home, sick, and went back to bed. When I awoke, I submitted what we call in the industry a fuck you price. And needless to say, no one ever contacted me about the estimate. And to this day, it remains one of the biggest wastes of time I've ever endured. But much like that of a bad first date, it is terrible to endure, but makes for a great story to tell your friends later. As always, thanks for watching, and follow for more.